My first death in Green Hell. I can't believe I died this way. I'm Abs Games and I'm continuing to play more Green Hell and try and survive. Starting off in this episode, I collect some bananas from this tree. Then I found a coconut, so I smashed that in order to pick it up and put it into my backpack. The aim today is to just explore, as I still need to find a grappling hook. The game does not tell you where this is, you have to go out and look for it, so I'm gonna try and explore as much of the jungle as I can. I come across this really nice ravine, and I'm just sort of checking my watch because I'm just heading in one particular direction, which I just picked at random to just see what I can find that way. So heading through the jungle, I come across some unknown fruit, so I pick them up, and I came across this plant with yellow flowers. This is an important plant. I remember seeing it in the notebook, and it can help craft bandages, so I made sure to collect some of that. Then I came across this grappling hook place, which again does not help me because I do not know where the grappling hook is. I find another fruit which I harvest, and I find some more bananas. So the aim is just to find as much food as I can in order to explore, because I don't know where that grappling hook is. I harvest the bird's nest, then I pick up a toucan and I harvest another coconut before going back to the village. This is kind of a safe spot for me, so I decided it was probably best to save here. Checking the notebook again, it is updated for the flower that I picked up and the fruit. I put the coconuts on the ground again, as this is a sustainable way to collect water. I harvest the toucan and I put the meat on the drying rack in order to keep the meat fresh in my backpack for longer. I eat some of the fruit as I'm a little hungry, but I'm not doing too bad on all the different meters. Checking my watch, it's only protein that seems to be decreasing, so I made a quick fire as I thought I could at least cook some meat. I realized I didn't have enough sticks, so out I went to harvest these. Once harvested, I was able to make the fire, and I realized that the coconuts I placed under the shelter of the village. I then had to move them in order to collect water when it rains. Then I went back to the fire, and of course I needed to light it. Replenishing all my meters before I fall asleep is a great way to get started, because it's going to take a lot of exploration to find the grappling hook. So once I made the fire, as the other meat was drying, I decided to put the snail on it, as I've ate this before, and even though it says a mystery snail, I don't think it harmed me. Checking the meat, it takes a long time for the meat to dry, but it started raining, which was great because it filled up the coconuts and I could improve my hydration, but of course the fire was going to go out and I could not cook my snail. I just kept drinking from the coconuts, as water is one of the hardest things to keep up in this game. After that, I decided that I would drink from the coconut that I've collected in my backpack, and then I would make a coconut bidon. I wasn't sure how to use this, but judging from the notebook, I would be able to fill it up with water, and I would be able to transport that with me. Hopefully then, from a survival aspect, I should be able to boil the water inside. Another thing I crafted at this stage was a bandage, and that was from the yellow flowered plant I found earlier. I could also make another bandage using a tobacco leaf, so I thought I may as well give that a go as well. So I had one of each type of bandages. After drinking from the coconuts, I went behind the huts of the village and I found this cage trap. Inside it was a tarantula, which I picked up. Then, returning back to the village, as I was approaching the drying rack, I realized a tiger was approaching me. So I ran away, and I thought if I just jump up on top of a rock, surely it would not be able to get me. I thought that it worked until it lunged forward and started attacking me. So I ran back through the village, and I thought I may as well try it again on another rock. Look, I only have a bone knife. What could I possibly do? Still, I tried to hit it as many times as I could in hopes of just either doing damage or chasing it off. I finally got some good shots on it, but as I was about to inflict some damage, it pounced and I died. This was my first death in Green Hell. So I respawned back at the village where I saved the game previously. So I checked the notebook again just to get the notifications out the way. I sort of replayed the day by putting the coconuts back on the floor, then harvesting the toucan in order to get the meat again, and I proceeded to put that back on the drying rack. Once that was completed, I checked my watch and found that I still needed to eat, so I went ahead and ate the fruit again to try and get my stats up. Considering I crafted the bandages before, I thought this was probably a good time to do that again, as if that tiger did get away and left me alone, I probably could have used the bandages to heal myself. It's funny how it said, it's funny how it said that if you hit it a couple of times, it should be enough to scare it away. Yet it did not move and just kept coming after me. Has anyone else experienced this, or did it work when you tried to get rid of it? Again, I decided to make the coconut bidon. Still, I don't know how to use it, but I imagine I should be able to collect water. Then I chased this armadillo. I don't know how it died, but I was able to skin it to get some more meat. This was really handy as, like I said, I'm trying to replenish as much of my vitals as I can and stock up on some food and some water in order to go exploring for the grappling hook. So after putting the meat on the drying rack, it said that I had leeches. This was probably because I'd been walking in and out of the river water. These decrease your sanity, so it's really important to get them off as soon as you notice them. It also said in the bottom that I was dirty, so I washed in the river. Again, this is important as being dirty can lead to infection. After all this, I saved the game. Then I put the meat on the drying rack. It started to rain and I kept drinking. Like I said, replenishing my vitals is very important. Then I decided to eat some of the bananas in my backpack and rid some of my backpack of the decayed food. I then went behind the village again to that cage trap where I unlocked the blueprint for it, but I did not take the tarantula out this time as I didn't want it to rot in my backpack. I continued drinking water. I also checked the meat again, and because it was raining, it wouldn't dry out, so I did some exploring. I came across this corpse where I collected another bone, as it is important to carry one for a bone knife. I then decided to sleep. Upon waking up, I drank from the coconuts again, as I realized my health still hadn't maxed out, so it was important to drink water in order to get this up. Checking my vitals, I could see that my protein and my fats were decaying, so it was probably a good time, instead of drying the meat out and carrying it with me, to cook it onto a fire. I decided this time I would be smart and put it underneath the hut shelter of the village, so if it did rain, it should not be put out. I don't get any luck with the fires, so I was hoping this was going to work. Of course, I needed to harvest some more material, so I started chopping down this big tree in order to get small sticks and sticks. Once they were collected, it had started raining, so I drank from the coconuts again, and I was hoping my plan was going to work, as I did not want this fire to go out. It takes a lot of energy to use the hand drill to light the fire, and you need to do it on decent amount of sleep. So I did not want to be wasting time doing this over and over again just for the fire to go out. I kept drinking from the coconuts as, like I said, I wanted to get my health up. And then because it was dark, I decided it was probably best to sleep and then try and light the fire, which I did immediately when I woke up. Once the fire was lit, I took the meat off the drying rack and I put it onto the fire. I started getting rid of the decomposing mushrooms that were in my backpack, and I checked my watch to see that my protein vital was getting really low. It took a while for the meat to cook, but once it was done, I was able to eat it and get my health up and improve my protein vital. The first lot of meat didn't do too much for my protein, but after the armadillo meat, because it was taking longer to cook, I imagine it would refill protein meter a lot more. My vitals are nearly at a level where I can go out and explore, which is the objective for the next video. I need to find that grappling hook. I appreciate you watching. I will see you soon. Thank you.